So what brought me to doing Qigong was I was diagnosed with an underactive thyroid in my late 30s, early 40s, and I was desperately looking for a way to lose weight. All the other conventional methods had not worked for me, and I was actually quite a health conscious person, so I knew how to always eat well and how to and about exercising. So it was quite surprising for me that I was putting on so much weight. And it was a bit of a shock, and I also just felt so miserable and I felt disappointed in myself. But now looking back, I can see that it wasn't my fault. There was something wrong inside my body. And so from doing Qigong, I had hoped to lose maybe 1 or 2 kilograms, out of the 10 kilograms that I needed to lose, which is roughly about 22 pounds. And I actually lost all of the weight. And I really had no expectation of it. So it was a very, very pleasant surprise. Um, and my whole shape changed. My muscles became a lot more toned. My skin changed. A lot of the saggy skin you get as you age, it all tightened up, and my whole body, just a whole new body. And in fact, even my digestion changed. I always was very bloated at the end of the day. I always had a lot of stomach issues, a lot of upset tummy. I also had something else called leaky gut, where the body acts like it's allergic to whatever you eat and it wants to very, very quickly evacuate it. And all of those issues actually resolved very beautifully through doing Qigong. As I've mentioned before, I do have lupus, and I didn't expect it to do anything for my lupus. Like, I really didn't. And I'm completely shocked and surprised to tell you that I'm 100% in remission from my lupus. It's completely a thing of the past. My blood tests are all beautiful, platelet count, white blood cell count, all completely textbook perfect. Then another thing that happened that I also had no expectation of was my blood sugar actually leveled out. My blood sugar actually was very, very high beforehand. And so I was a little bit concerned about it because I could see that it showed me that my body didn't know what to do with carbohydrate. And it's now textbook perfect. In fact, a question that I actually got from my own GP on another point is she actually said to me, "What do you do that your vitamin D levels are so good?" So I said, I don't know, I don't really do anything. And I thought maybe because sometimes, I teach Qigong outside. And I said, maybe it's from doing that. And she said, no, it's not. She said she has construction workers that are outside all day long and their vitamin D levels are lower than mine. And her words to me, she even said she can see that Qigong is balancing all the hormones in my body. She said my weight was perfect, my blood sugar was perfect, and she said it was attributable to Qigong. Then another very surprising thing that came out for me, a door slammed on me, way back in 2005, and I broke my ribs. And I love to run, and so I always get a lot of pain in the ribs when running. And I basically had to give up on running because it was very, very bad, and there was nothing that could be done. And I just noticed that my movement became so much easier. And then when I did try running, that pain had completely, completely gone. And I'd had that pain for 16 years. 16 years of pain, and then all of a sudden gone. Something else that I was very surprised about, I developed a lump under my knee, and I did go for physio and acupuncture, and it changed the feeling of the lump. Like, it changed from a kind of fibrous to a little bit more spongy, but it was still there, still painful. Nothing would get that thing to shift or move or shrink or anything. And I noticed that after doing Qigong, one day I'd actually forgotten about the lump. And one day I started feeling around my knee, it was completely gone. I had no expectation for that either. Then another interesting thing that happened, I used to get extreme cravings for sweet foods that were very difficult to satisfy, meaning like you'd eat one and you'd want another one and another one and another one, and it would be really difficult to stop. And that also completely went away. Like, now, if I get a craving for something sweet, I'll eat what I want, and then I actually don't want any more. I've had enough, and I feel completely peaceful and happy and satisfied. And in fact, Qigong makes eating a lovely experience because, like, sometimes you go out for a meal and then they bring you the dessert cart and there are all these like tempting things. When my body's had enough to eat, those tempting things are just not tempting anymore. There's nothing that you could bring me that would actually make me want to eat anything else. I just find I eat exactly what I need. I'm totally satisfied, and it doesn't rule my life. So it makes the eating experience a very, very pleasant one, very stress-free. Another thing, I used to get very, very painful acne along the side of my face, so bad I used to have to hold ice on my face just to cool it down and to get the pain to go down. Totally a thing of the past. My skin has really, really settled down. I also used to get very, very bad migraines that would wind me up in hospital every single time. Terrible, nausea and vomiting and upset tummy and fainting and all sorts of things. And that, thankfully, also, I don't get migraines at all. Totally, totally gone. I also actually used to have epilepsy, and that has also completely reversed, which I also had no expectation of. So, Qigong just totally and utterly really, really changes your body. It changes your body and your mind and just how you feel about yourself for the best. It's a very peaceful way of living. And, you do a practice, you feel so nice that day, you sleep well that night, and you even wake up the next day feeling good. So if you haven't tried it, have a try. There's some wonderful classes that you can try on the website. And I look forward to hearing from you. And if you have any questions, just know that you can always reach out.